It is a busy time across north central Texas, and from here on out, it's only going to get busier. So I wanted to make sure to at least get one of these out to you. We take a look at the highs. We'll start here today, 80 to 81 degrees. That's above the norm, but not half bad across North Texas. Will be much warmer here in a few months. Overnight tonight, 50 to 51 for your lows, right around that norm of 52. Now I want to jump right into the details going forward because we have several things to talk about. Now, obviously right now across our area, let me start here, you can see all the dry air, but yes, off to the west, here's our next system. This will play a part in what we see on our eclipse day, but first I want to talk about the fact that Saturday evening, Saturday night, there will already be some events going on, and we are looking at some showers and thunderstorms. This system is looking weaker now. The severe weather threat looks to be pretty well focused north of us, so mostly north of the Red River there. We'll see a few thunderstorms in our area, but right now it's looking like just a thin line of a few showers, perhaps a few claps of thunder, really not much. I'm going to continue monitoring this. We know in Texas things can change very quickly, but for right now, it looks like Saturday night, yeah, a few showers, a few thunderstorms, but not a lot. We'll see much more coming up in the future of the forecast. So let's talk about eclipse day. Will there be clouds? Will there not? That, of course, is the main topic of conversation here, and I just want to show you this map I've shown a couple of times, and I've added something here. So here's what we're looking at. This is the system that will bring the storm Saturday night. We should have that front moving through the southern United States at that point. This may be a little bit too far west, but what I want to demonstrate for you is that even though the front will come through, it won't do much in terms of prohibiting the southerly winds, at least not on Monday. We will have that Gulf moisture moving in at the same time that a low pressure system will be moving into the desert southwest. And that will push upper level winds from the southwest and bring in those upper level clouds. Now, the upper clouds will be thinner, higher up. They will allow in more light, which means generally we'll see at least some of that eclipse. But the big question right now is how much of that Gulf moisture comes in, how much low cloud activity does that allow in? Because if we get more low clouds, then it's going to be harder to see. So right now though, and I wish I'd clipped one of the images from one of the models, one of them, the line of where the drier air and the more humid air is right through our area. So it's going to be close, okay? And the more dry air we have, the better chance we probably have of keeping some of those lower clouds at bay. But either way, looks like the higher clouds are a gimme right now, so it looks like that's pretty straightforward. But again, we will continue to monitor this because if this system happens to strengthen, that will keep some of that, not only the Gulf moisture, but maybe keep this other system at bay as well and help us out with the clouds. But right now, does look like that's a weaker system, so that will allow more of that moisture at various levels of the atmosphere to come in and unfortunately affect our eclipse viewing. Now, I do want to note and kind of show the difference between the two. So these are higher clouds, and you can see, just using the moon here, you can see quite a bit of light getting through, but as we progress with the video, you can see some of those lower clouds passing through. So these are the higher clouds, mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, but then you start bringing in these lower clouds, and that starts to cut down on the light coming in, that starts to cut down on that visibility, and so that could affect, and there you see some of those thicker clouds really starting to cut that down. So that could definitely affect it. Now, the other thing you can see is that it cuts down on the light, so if anything, if we get just the right mixture, we should still be able to at least see some passage of that eclipse. But there's a big question mark right now, and there you can barely see anything. So it will be a big question mark, and it will depend on what kind of clouds we're looking at. My hope is, even if we're stuck with the upper clouds, maybe we can keep those lower clouds at bay and at least help things along in that regard. Now, we can't have anything nice. I was just actually talking to someone on the phone, and they made this point that anytime we have anything space-wise going on in Texas, not only are there clouds, but there tends to be storms involved, and Monday we are looking at that. That system I showed you that will be in the desert southwest, going to take its time coming through. So it's not going to be one of these that just parks there. I mean, it could be, but it's at least going to take a few days to go from the desert southwest to, ejecting across the southern plains and then out. So Monday afternoon and evening. Right now, I do think that the storms will be after the eclipse. right now, if the timing holds true, and we still have a few days for it to change, but if the timing holds true, it looks like Monday night. So should have plenty of time to get home and get kind of back into a normal run of things after the eclipse happens and those events shut down. I will say, if you're actually running one of these events, you may not want to waste much time in breaking down and packing up after that, just to make sure things are done by the time these storms come in. But we will be watching to see when we can expect that first round of storms to come through, and get a better idea of when to expect these storms. But there could be severe weather involved. It's spring, we expect that. So just be prepared for a few severe thunderstorms. Now, obviously, most of it is east of us, and we could see this progress further east, could progress further west. We'll have to watch. So just be ready for that. And because the system is going to take its time going through, another chance of storms on Tuesday, and that could have a few severe storms as well. But all of this is early. It's preliminary. We'll have more details as we get closer. So let's put all of this together in the forecast. Today is nice. Friday is nice. Saturday, more clouds as that first system starts coming in. Windy, 79 degrees, but mostly dry. Saturday, rain probably waits until the late afternoon, evening hours. Sunday's pleasant, windy, but pleasant, and then things start to get crazy. So on Monday, we could, if we have those lower clouds, if we have more of that humidity in here, we could squeeze out a light shower or two. I don't think it's going to be event altering at all, but the visibility of that eclipse will largely depend on those clouds. So just stick around and stay tuned. We'll bring more clarity to that over the next few days. And then showers and thunderstorms Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday, could even be Thursday, depending on the timing of this thing. Hopefully by next weekend, we're clearing out. Some more muddy madness across the area. We've had a lot of that recently, but looking like a pretty active week next week. So stay tuned to South Metro Weather. I'm bringing more and more updates on what to expect, not only with Saturday night storms, trying to make sure the severe weather stays at bay, and also paying close attention to what to expect Monday with the eclipse, and then going forward from there with more active weather and hopefully not too much rain, but a decent amount as that system crawls through the desert Southwest and the southern plains. So more details to come in the next several days.